Hi, Tam here. You have some people who really believe that we humans are the only living creatures in the entire universe. Let's talk about that, We live on planet Earth, right? Planet Earth is part of the universe, but more importantly, it's part of the solar system. So we have the sun and many other planets moving around the sun, moving around our sun. We are one of many other planets. There are many other suns in our galaxy, the Milky Way. So our sun, our majestic sun, our wonderful sun, our sun that keeps us alive, yes, it's enormous. But in the galaxy, in the bigger scheme of things, our sun is only one of billions of other suns. There are billions of other suns in our galaxy, the Milky Way. And so because there are billions of other suns, billions of other stars, there are billions of other solar systems. And so there are billions, hundreds of billions of other planets. In our galaxy, hundreds of billions of other planets. Some bigger than planet Earth, some smaller than planet Earth, some younger than planet Earth, and some much, much older than planet Earth. And so now to think that of those hundreds of billions of other planets in our galaxy, our little planet Earth is the only one with life in it. That becomes a crazy idea, actually, It's crazy, and it's not very humble. If you really think that we alone, then it means that, you don't have any humility. You're not humble enough, to consider how small you are in the universe. Now, some people say insignificant, and I disagree. We are very, very, very small as a planet, but we're definitely not insignificant. The fact that, we are alive, the fact that you as an individual are alive, you are significant. You are alive, you're breathing, you're thinking, so you are significant. You are as significant as the billions of other planets around. So, there's a big difference between being small and being insignificant. But that's a topic for no discussion, So basically, continuing on that train of thought, right? The Milky Way, our galaxy, has hundreds of billions of planets. Of these hundreds of billions of planets, naturally, there must be life somewhere else. Our solar system is 30,000 light years away from the center of our galaxy. So the Milky Way, our galaxy, right, as a center, and all the other suns, all the other solar systems are moving around that center, that nucleus of the Milky Way. But our solar system, which is very, very small as compared to the billions of other solar systems, our solar system is 30,000 light years away from the center of the galaxy. You know how many kilometers that is? That's, So what I'm saying, and this is what it's becoming scary, is that you look at our Milky Way, which has hundreds of billions of planets. And then you expand that to the universe, which is, by the way, forever expanding, right? There is hundreds of billions of other galaxies. In fact, since the universe is expanding, there is, you could say, an infinity of other galaxies, right? But for the sake of this discussion, let's say that, we have hundreds of billions of other galaxies. And each galaxy has hundreds of billions of planets. Now it becomes impossible to believe that, planet Earth, which is a grain of sand at the beach, little planet Earth, is the only dot in the universe where there is life. Impossible. It's quite clear that there must be billions of other worlds with living creatures inhabiting them. And that's the scary part, because now, if you look at the evolution of the human species, right? Just 200 years ago, there were no planes flying around. 300 years ago, there were no cars moving around the streets. So, in the last 300 years, we have made a lot of progress, right? From traveling with horses and camels and stuff like that, to now, everybody's got cars around. Flying from point A to point B is like taking the bus almost, And now if you look at the last 50 years, just in the way we communicate, 50 years ago, Wi-Fi, internet, and all that stuff that we're doing today, you couldn't do it. 50 years ago, the laptop wasn't even around. So if you look at the human technological progress in the last 50 years, in communication, in medicine, that's amazing. It's moving so fast. In the last century, you would get the flu, you would have a 50-50 chance of surviving. Polio was common. And now think about planets that have living creatures that have been around for millions of years before us, meaning living extraterrestrial creatures that have had 1,000,000 years of progress as compared to us. 1,000,000 years ago, the Homo sapiens wasn't around. So now think about some living creatures somewhere in some other planet, at some other corner of some galaxy somewhere, that have been making progress for millions of years. Can you just imagine how much more advanced they could be as compared to us? If you keep making progress like that, imagine us in 500 years. And now imagine human beings in 1,000 years. The year is 3017. Just imagine the kind of world human beings will be living in. And now just imagine human beings in the year 4017. What about the year 24,017? Can you imagine? Now imagine a world somewhere where people have been making progress for 1,000,000 years. I mean, that's very scary. It means that, such people, such creatures will be so advanced, man, technologically advanced and spiritually advanced, and that it would be impossible for them to relate to us. Should they meet us, it would be impossible to communicate with them. I mean, there will be no communication possible. They will just look at us and they will think we're so primitive that, it's impossible. It's scary in a way. But it's also interesting, And I think, we need to evolve, we need to grow as a human species. We need to improve ourselves and strive to become better, faster. I mean, we are primitive people. I mean, we're still at war with each other. We still resort to brute force and violence to settle our differences. We want to dominate others, take other people's resources. We're still threatening to use nuclear power. I mean, we're so far behind, man. I mean, anyway, that's my take. I wanted to talk about the possibilities of extraterrestrial life in the universe, and just by logical thinking, looking at our planet, our place in our galaxy in the universe, it's quite clear that the chances of us being the only living people, the only living creatures in the entire universe, I mean, it's I would say 0.00001% possible. But we have to admit that there must be other creatures, other living creatures, and some much more advanced than us, somewhere in the universe. Cheers.